In 1998, Konami released Dance Dance Revolution, aka DDR, a fresh take on the genre of rhythm games with an innovative playstyle that required players to use their legs instead of fingers. Needless to say, its popularity exploded, with worldwide demand far exceeding the supply. Arcades were filled to the brim with people waiting in long lines to play, while passersby stood and watched in large crowds, just so they could all participate in this new craze. Chances are, you remember this golden era of dance games. Perhaps you were that player who placed their quarter on the dance cab waiting for your turn. Maybe you owned a console release of the game and played on a soft pad at home. Clearly, things have changed since then. And DDR, including its counterparts, such as Pump It Up and In the Groove, have fallen out of the mainstream. Despite this, there is still a thriving and growing community of dance gamers worldwide, with ongoing local and global tournaments. Although there is so much to appreciate in these games, this video will focus on one appealing aspect: the health benefits. For simplicity, we'll use DDR to explain this concept. Let's start by talking about the basic gameplay. There are 5 difficulty modes, ranging from beginner to challenge, and the difficulties are further divided from 1 to 19. A level 7 might be a brisk walk in the park. A level 13 is like a jog, and a level 19 is an all-out sprint. Take note how the intensity changes exponentially the higher you go up. You must step on the arrows in accordance with the judgment line, and are scored according to how accurately you hit the arrows with the line, as if hitting the arrows normally wasn't difficult enough. Just take a look at how tight the timing windows are. Songs are approximately 2 minutes in length, and players are given about a minute in between songs, though they can opt to start songs as early as they please during this time frame. One swipe will give players around 3 to 4 songs, so pacing throughout their turn is essential. There are also DDR courses, which are 4 songs played in quick succession, giving players approximately 10 to 15 seconds to catch their breath in between songs. The most difficult course in the game consists of 4 19s in a row, which is so difficult that Konami had to add an unskippable 1-minute break in between songs. Forget about the score for just a minute. Passing is an achievement in itself. And this is doubles. It's exactly what it sounds like. 1 player, 2 pads. I once had a player tell me that the doubles mode is like playing a completely different game, and I couldn't agree more. Doubles is a clear step up, asking players to control their body over twice the distance and having them hit patterns of increasing complexity. Also, the timing windows stay the same, so good luck. Now, to address the elephant in the room, most of the clips you have seen thus far have shown players holding onto the bar, which, given how much harder DDR songs are today compared to the past, it honestly makes sense. However, DDR players in the past, and even today, use the no bar technique, which is known to be much more of a cardio and balance stress test. Nevertheless, there is no correct way to play DDR, provided you are not injuring yourself, and using the bar to assist you doesn't make the game as easy as one may think. And here's a fun fact: DDR freestyles are also a thing, as are freestyle tournaments. As seen here, the player is less concerned with intensity and timing, and more concerned with expression and technique. Although not as strenuous, it still provides good cardio. And if freeform dance is more of your thing, you're in luck, because in 2018, Konami released Dance Rush Stardom, a game that is very beginner friendly, but incredibly complex the more you integrate freestyle dance moves. Now, back to DDR. From the footage you have seen so far, I think you can understand the health benefits associated with it. It's largely high-intensity interval training, aka HIIT, that also places stress on the quads, calves, tris, and tests your core stability. HIIT is a training technique that focuses on, you guessed it, high-intensity exercises in intervals. Workouts are done with or without equipment and are approximately 20 to 30 minutes in total length. During this time frame, athletes typically complete either one or multiple sets of exercise techniques in a short time frame, followed by a quick rest, only to jump right back into the next cycle of techniques. It is widely considered to be a very time-efficient way for one to raise their heart rate and burn calories. However, the intense nature of these workouts can cause injuries, especially if you are a beginner without a solid athletic background. So it is advisable to start with low to moderate intensity workouts. As you can see, even the world's best desperately need to catch their breath. Because DDR exercise bears similarities to running, expect to work out your leg muscles. Moving the feet off one arrow to another engages the calf muscles, while extending your leg downwards to hit the arrows engages your quads. In fact, the type of movement seen in DDR bears some resemblance to foot fire drills seen in basketball and football. The triceps are engaged by holding the bar for stability. Taller players, due to the relatively low height of the bar, can have about as much trouble with their tris, given that they have to support far more of their body weight with their upper body. In this clip of Chris for Life, you can see how a consistent barrage of arrows will cause him to grab onto the bar more tightly and engage the tris more. Less experienced players will often overuse their tricep muscles on sections like these and tire their arms out really quickly. And yes, I'm speaking from experience. Your core stability is engaged with more complex crossover patterns. This clip will show you what those patterns look like. The engagement of the core is relatively light, but nevertheless worth mentioning. It might be more pronounced the more freeform your routine is, as seen in this clip. That said, much like with any cardio, do not expect a six-pack, but do expect to burn excess fat with regular exercise. I'd like to zoom in on the HIIT component by using one of my favorite songs to further explain this concept. The song is titled 9, and its expert and challenge charts are levels 17 and 18 respectively. On the surface, the difference is minimal, and to an untrained eye, one can't see how these two are that much harder than the other. After all, both end with a total step count of 753, so how could the 18 be harder? DDR players will give you many reasons, but for simplicity, we will focus on one of those reasons, and that has to do with the duration of the high intensity period. The 17 is more spread out, while the 18 mixes relatively lighter sections alongside long and intense sections that can easily cause anyone to fail. If we compare the two difficulties, we can see how the level 18 has a much longer high-intensity section compared to the level 17. Clearly, arrow count isn't everything. Distribution matters too. While there are many more examples of this throughout the song, this is arguably the most noticeable of them all. I'll provide a helpful and perhaps more relatable analogy to further solidify this point. Suppose you have two people running a 5-minute and 30-second mile on a track. Person A, which in our DDR example is the level 17, will run 1:30 for 3 laps, followed by a 1-minute sprint to finish things off. Meanwhile, person B, the level 18, will run 1 minute and 45 seconds for the first 2 laps, then perform a 1-minute sprint for the remainder half a mile, just so they can finish at 5:30. Although the distance is the same, the intensity and difficulty of person B's run is noticeably greater than that of person A. Dance games have fallen off the mainstream, being outshined by the modern rhythm game market, with games such as Clone Hero, Friday Night Funkin', Muse Dash, Osu, Rhythm Doctor, Beat Saber, and so much more. Even so, there is still a thriving community of dance gamers seeking a physically intense challenge offered by the likes of DDR. Today, you will most often find these players at a local Round 1 or Dave & Buster's, wearing athletic gear just as you might see in a gym. This may look intimidating. However, the dance game community is very friendly to newcomers, so don't be afraid to give DDR a try. You might just find a consistent exercise routine and source of motivation to help you achieve your health goals.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, for everything games and health, keep it right here to digital.games.